everybody. Welcome to another Midwest Paratalk Radio. Deb and Gregg are back, like
Yoo-hoo!
Slim Shady or Guess Who's Back.
Hello, everybody.
Again.
That's why that EVP we had said hello, everybody.
Right.
Okay. Anyways,
You know, it's every time you play that and people hear that, like the conference that we did before this one that we went to in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And then at this one that we were at last weekend, every time you played that, there was somebody going, "Oh my God," or
I know. People can't believe it, man. When they hear our EVPs, they'd be like, and I get it, because if I heard an EVP as good as the ones we get, I'd be like, sure, Jan. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was there. I promise you, there was nobody in that room but me and Greg. So
right.
Or me and Ange in the case of the walkie-talkies. So it's like,
no, we were all standing there.
That's the real deal.
Yeah, we were all standing around the countertop there. It was when we were still doing the stinky sticks.
Yeah, and you can hear the recording is subpar. We were still using the little Sony
I don't know
audio recorders. I was still using my Sony audio recorder.
Yeah, for being little Sony digital recorders, the one with the USB connections and all that bullshit. It surprise as clear as that EVP is, you would think that we were using the H1Ns or the H6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well.
For being, I mean, it was like what, 2012?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a minute.
Yeah, that we got that EVP, and for equipment that old or that dated to sound as clear as it was, that was pretty amazing. So I had a little online debate here this week. And I'm not going to lie, it kind of ticked me off a little bit because these newbies coming into this field, Deb and I, okay, for you guys that don't know our background and haven't been following us, which I don't know how, Deb and I have been doing this for a really long time. We've been doing radio since at least 2012, 2011. But we've been investigating longer than that. I mean, I alone have almost 25 years of experience in paranormal investigation. And Deb with ufology and paranormal investigation has had longer than that, almost 40 years of it. So when someone in a Facebook online forum that are still wet behind their ears, barely have any experience in the field, and they're talking about how great phone audio apps are for ghost hunting, it burns my hind end because like my argument is anything with code can be manipulated. And people in the chat were like, well, I checked my code and there's nothing on the back end, blah, blah. No, dude, it doesn't matter. You cannot, and my argument was, I don't like to use the phone apps, but for fun. Because you cannot present, like if you're running an investigation at a private residence and you are doing your full on blown out, you've got all your equipment, your cameras, your digital voice recorders, your REM pods, your EMF detectors, your DVR system is set up, you're giving it full 100%, and then you pull out a phone app, nothing else will corroborate what the phone app is doing, but the phone app's going, demon, I will kill you, get out. Demon. Well, if you're saying like the way that the code can work is you can have a trigger word. So if you say, hey, is there anybody here that wants to talk to us? And the trigger word is talk, then it's going to come back and go demon or kill yourself. You know what I mean? So it makes me mad when people take that as legitimate evidence. You cannot present that evidence. I don't care on any investigation. If you are a seasoned or conduct your investigations in a professional sense, there's no way that you can legitimately submit that piece of evidence to a client and say, here's evidence of your haunting. This is your paranormal activity. You're 100% haunted and you have a demon. You know, we're not Zach Baggins up in this bitch. or Ryan Buell.
Yeah.
Not everything, or even Ed and Lorraine Warren, everything is not a demon. And quit pretending like it is. Quit wishing that shit on yourself.
Honestly, I don't even know that I fully believe in demons per se.
Right.
That's a religious moniker that I prefer to just not use. I There's negative energy and there's
Mm-hmm.
positive energy. And if you're talking about energy that lived here on this planet and you were an asshole when you were alive, being dead isn't going to make you an angel. You're still going to be an asshole. And those are the things that I think people think of as demons. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, it's just negative energy. And I think that, I mean, you can attract it by your thoughts and, the attitude that you bring into somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in someplace acting like a dick, somebody's going to come back at you somewhere.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's what I've been telling investigators for a long time too. If we get to an investigation and you're not in the right mindset, you need to either stay out of the location or go home, because your negative vibe is going to ruin whatever evidence that we were even going to attempt to be able to get while in this location. I mean, if you're in a crappy mind space or you've had a fight with your significant other, there's no reason that you need to be on my site doing an investigation.
Mm-mm. And I don't
Negative.
I don't like that provoking stuff. We don't do
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
just that's just dumb. I don't know. I'm old and I have my opinions. This is why I don't that's why I don't pay attention to all this drama going on. I'm seeing roll past my Facebook feed and I'm reading it with my popcorn, and I don't know any of these people, and I'm glad I don't. Uh, I do recognize some of them from television, and that's fine, but I'm not Facebook friends with them, or I don't talk to them. I don't meet them. I don't know them. I'm just here doing my thing that because I believe in it and I know it's real, and I don't need all that mess.
Right.
But it's like I don't, you know, I don't know. I'm not into it. So don't bring that to my investigation, or you can go home. I don't care. Just like when we used to do the sky watches and stuff. We had a young couple come out with us in a sky watch down in Vincent's at Lucky Point, and we were also investigating the power lines and the power poles vibrating and humming, which they were wooden poles, so there's no reason for them to do that. We went out into the bean fields, and then they came running screaming back, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you running away from something that we're here to look for? Don't do that.
Right.
If you don't like if you're here for an adrenaline rush, you're at the wrong place.
Right.
Take that shit somewhere else. I ain't got time for it. And they looked at me like, what?
Right. Like, how dare you? What? How dare I put some friggin' thought and wisdom onto what we're supposed to be doing out here anyway?
Yeah.
Investigators don't run away from; they run to.
And you know what? Uh, that's why we have good stuff,
Right.
because we bring good stuff to the site. We bring positive energy and positive thoughts and
Well,
respect.
yeah. Yeah. I never understood, because I mean, here recently, I've had a couple investigators like this where they're scared. I'm scared to go do this or that or the other. Or this place scares me so much that my stomach is upset. And like, well, at this point, you need to seriously dig deep and ask yourself, are you sure that you want to be a paranormal investigator? And you sure this is the right hobby for you to be doing? Because if you're like that in every investigation, if you're squeamish, if you're running away from instead of running to, then I'm going to have to say that you're doing the wrong thing. There's plenty of investigators out here that are serious in trying to capture evidence and present the evidence. And it's not a matter of proving that there is paranormal activity or anything UFO or cryptid or anything. It's not our job to prove it. Our job is to gather it scientifically and present it scientifically. You walk away with whatever it is you think you want to walk away with or get from that interaction. But and with the drama, going back to the drama, it's funny, is like the TV people. most the 90% of the drama right now is from the people that have been on TV.
Yeah.
It's like maybe it's they're trying to cash grab and hold on to that 15 minutes of fame or whatever. But I mean, from Matt Rife to that, uh, oh, his partner Castee, Elton
Elvis
Castee,
Elton, yeah.
and Jason Hawes and them in the Conjuring house. The only one that's really honestly that I think is doing good, and I'm not trying to, be on the bandwagon for this or not, but just from what I'm seeing from an outsider's perspective looking in, is that Jason Hawes is doing the right thing with what he's trying to do with the Conjuring house.
Yeah. Andrea is a friend of mine. And when Jason stepped up to help her, she reached out to him. And when he stepped in to help her, I
Hmm.
mean, that just touched my heart because I know Andrea and I know what it means to her for him to do that. And I know what
Yeah.
struggle she's been going through with her cancer and everything. And, that Jason to do something like that for her, it tells me what kind of a man he is, what
Yeah.
kind of a person he is. And, when I started watching paranormal shows on TV, because you already know I'm going to go watch all that shit, um, Ghost Hunters was the first one I ever watched.
Yeah.
And today I feel like still it's the only one that, and I know there was some problems in different seasons, but I felt like they were the most genuine. I mean, they're for the reasons that I would be there.
Hmm.
Not there for a show, but there because this was a passion of theirs and that this was something that they resonated with, like me, and they wanted to find it evidence and share it with the world. And
Right.
that's always going to be cool with me.
Oh yeah.
So they always had kind of a soft spot in my heart, even though they had problems down the road, which would not uncommon when you deal with uh, television and stuff.
Right. Well, I mean, television wants that wow factor all the time,
Right. I
and
mean, I've had enough of my own dealings with production companies and whatnot over my story and Bud's book and all that. I know how they roll and I
yeah.
know what they do and I know how it can be. That's one of the reasons you don't see me out there a whole lot because I tell them to piss off, but that's
Right.
just me. I mean,
Well, I mean,
I had a job that I've worked my whole life. This wasn't how I made money,
right.
you know.
Well, my thing is, I mean, how many investigations have we been on where absolutely nothing has happened?
Right.
It's been dead air from the time that we hit
Oh
the
my
door to
God.
the time that we leave, and that's that doesn't make for good television.
No, that would be my only complaint for the paranormal shows that I see. Why don't you tell people, for every really great EVP or really great video clip you get, you got like 20 hours of nothing. And you
Right.
better like donuts and coffee if you're doing it at night. Otherwise, you're going to fall
Exactly.
asleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that it's not that scary and glamorous. Most of the time, it's just boring as shit.
Yeah.
But in your mind that and then I know how Hollywood is. I know what they did to my own story when CBS did the miniseries of Intruders.
Yeah.
To be honest, they bought the name and maybe one or two scenes from the book directly, and
Yeah.
all the rest of it was Hollywood license. It had nothing to do with me or our case, not
Right.
a shred. So when people would come up to me afterwards and ask me about it, I'd have to tell them that wasn't me. It
Right.
didn't happen, and try to explain to them, look, Hollywood, they're in it
Hollywooded
for
that shit up.
they're in it for the money.
Yep.
They take license with things that because they need to make money, so they
Right.
like something that's more sensational
Well,
or
I mean,
sensationalized.
yeah. I mean, paranormal and ufology, it's not a very exciting field, honestly, to be in if you think about it. I mean, the embellishments that Hollywood has to take to do either the paranormal TV shows or like your story and make it into a miniseries, you've got to have those embellishments to make it entertaining, quote unquote. I'm air quoting, um, so people will watch. And truth be told, yeah. I mean, I've had two residential investigations over the last month, and it got bupkis. and everybody's claiming that it's nasty and it's dark and it's demony, and it's I didn't get squat. And I literally sat in the dark talking to myself on a recorder for X amount of hours. There's no there's no glory in that if you're wanting to take it public and do like TV shows and whatnot. So they're always trying to make it bigger and better than what it is. But
Hmm.
I mean that's Hollywood, and that is to be expected, and that's what they do, and it's entertainment. I mean, I still think it would be cool. And they would have to, if they were have to more like a ghost hunters thing, because if Jason and Taps, if they didn't find anything at a place at a location, even on the show, they said, "Hey, look, we had a couple of personal experiences, but didn't get anything that we can say yes, 100%. This is paranormal activity. So I can't
Yeah.
tell you that your place is haunted
Hmm.
without
Yeah.
further,
And I like that honesty. You don't
yeah,
see that in these new shows and stuff. It's always somebody screaming and demons are coming to get you and all this other shit. It's like, oh, stop,
yeah." I had an
shut up.
investigation a year or so ago where we did the investigation at this lady's house here in my town or next to my town, and we go and we do the review, and she's saying, "Oh, it's a demon, isn't it? It's a demon. I just know it's a demon." I'm like, "Dude, we got some EVPs at your place. We didn't get any video evidence. We didn't get any digital video evidence. We didn't get any hits on any of the equipment other than a couple of EVPs. So it's not what you think it is." She got up and left.
Mhm.
She wanted it to be a demon so bad that she just got up and left. And I'm like,
Dude, it's no different in ufology. As a MUFON investigator for 8 years or however long, and I'm my own case, my own things that happened to me, right?
mm,
I've always been skeptical in that I've always looked for the prosaic explanation because I learned that 98% of the time or more, you can find it. You just sometimes got to dig a little or look a little harder. You can't be lazy about it.
right,
But when you come with someone you've done an investigation on and you find the reason for their event or whatever it was, and you're, like really sure, and you have the receipts to prove your reasoning, they don't want to see it because that's not what they want to believe, right?
yeah, yeah,
I've been to paranormal investigations where people would always feel this real uh, uh, ominous, heavy feeling when they would walk through this stairwell, right? And I even felt it, but I recognized some of it. And we got the EMF meters out, and we were actually able to trace it to a bad circuit breaker
mm-hmm,
in the house that was throwing off mad shit. And so we suggested that it was a high probability that that feeling of being watched and followed and anxiety and paranoia and awful feelings that they would feel whenever they were in that could be as a result of this. And I printed out
fear
papers.
cage, yeah,
Right. I printed out some of what I researched, that explained how that worked on the human body and whatnot. And they're like, okay, fine. They clearly didn't want to accept any of that. They
right,
wanted it to be ghosts. Sometimes I think people want their place to be haunted because they want to like market it, you know? Like if they want to sell the house, they want to sell it as a haunted house because they think
oh
they're
yeah,
going to make more money from it, or they want to turn it into a
a
pay to
cash
play
grab,
place like
yep,
the Davis house was,
yeah, yeah, 100%,
Uh, people lived in it, but they wanted to turn it into you know, charge paranormal groups $300 for a weekend to come in and
yep,
whatever. It's like an Airbnb only haunted, right?
yeah, yeah,
Haunted Airbnbs, I think that's a
right,
thing.
it is, yeah,
So it's like when you say, no, I don't think it's haunted, boo. I think you guys got bad wiring. They're like, nope, bye. They don't want
yep.
to know. They don't want
No,
to know.
your team sucks. You don't know what you're doing. My place is haunted. It's a demon. I tell you, it's a demon.
The only demon living
No,
in that house, boo, is
is you,
you.
right? And who, it kills me is like, and I don't know that I necessarily believe in demons either. I believe in good and bad. Um, but I mean, that goes into a whole nother topic for a whole nother show.
Right.
Um, but even so, why in the world are you wishing that evil on you?
Yeah, why would you
Why are
want
you,
that?
yeah, why are you wishing this evil upon yourself? I mean, you're not Ricky Bobby, baby. Come
Just
on.
like I used to think, I remember doing an interview one time on a radio program about my UFO experiences, and this was back in the early 2000s,
Hmm.
and really having a good conversation with both of the hosts. And she said something to me, and I said, here's the thing. Why in the hell would you want to be famous for this kind of shit? I did not go looking for any of this. It came to me,
Hmm.
and I've tried to just live with it, right? I said, because back then, whatever stigma there is now regarding UFO witnesses and whatnot, you can multiply that shit 10 times over or more back in the early times, back in the day.
Right.
And the last thing I wanted to be famous for, I didn't want to be famous for anything other than being a great mom and making good money. I had two jobs at the time
Hmm.
until I got hired on at the good place. And then, you know, I, I just wanted a normal life for me and my kids. This was not what I considered normal. I thought it was when I was a kid growing up, but once I got out into the world, went to school and everything, I realized not everybody has this happen to them, or at least they don't talk about it.
Right.
And so my goal was to just give my kids a normal life, a comfortable one, working my ass off at my two jobs. Uh, and then why would you want to be famous for this shit? And she kind of laughed at me and she's like, you know what, you're right. Nowadays, it seems like everybody wants to be famous for this shit. Everybody
Right.
wants to be famous for paranormal stuff. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm just driven for knowledge. And if I find good stuff, I want to share it with other people that are in like minds. So that's why whenever I do a talk, like I don't do very often anymore, but when I do like a conference and do a lecture, I always stick that paranormal stuff there in the end because it's important. It's connected somehow, and I want to share what we've captured with anybody that's wants to know because I think it's spectacular that the handful of the greatest EVPs I've ever heard in my life, or ones we've gotten, that's what I do this for. Because
Hmm.
that's proof. That's proof that my thinking is correct. That there is more. There's something else. That we're connected to it. That the all the weird stuff that happens to people is all connected. And I've come to the conclusion that some of the things we've recorded have probably never lived here and probably aren't even dead and anywhere else. I mean, I feel like some of the things that we've recorded are more interdimensional things that have somehow tapped into us as we've tapped into them for whatever fleeting moment or for a little bit. So I don't even think they're dead or they've ever even lived here. They're somewhere else. Just I had that one old EVP. That old man said, "Are the spirits listening?" And I had that epiphany. Oh
Right.
shit, we're the spirits somewhere, and somebody's listening to us right now. You
I,
know,
I feel like we, I don't know. I'm thinking part of that, yes, but I also feel like some of the older things that we capture and can like verify through doing research and whatnot are still, I don't know if it's just a residual imprint on time and it's bouncing around in the past, or
it's
I
happening right. Here's my attitude about time space now. Everything happens all at once, all at the same. The like time isn't linear. It's collapsed in on itself. We like if we're recording somebody's conversation somewhere else, it's because it's happening right now in
yeah.
their version of time and space. You know what I'm saying? It's
So
actually it's not a loop or a recording. It's actually happening right now. We're somehow moving through space and time and tapping into it. It's like time traveling to this
so
forward
an,
backwards.
like an open window wormhole.
Yeah, sort of like that.
Hmm.
Only I don't know physics and I don't know how that shit works, but I do know that uh you know and, and also we have we've recorded voices of people who have been here and have died, and
Hmm.
their relatives have heard them, like Astrid
Right.
heard her grandma say, "Is that you, Astrid?" or something like that. And
Right.
it's like, she's like, "Oh my God, that's my grandma's voice." So I mean, there
Well,
are things, and I think that their
yeah.
energy lives on. I mean, I
Hmm.
think there's a lot of different things going on, and we're tapping into a lot of different things. We're tapping into the spirits of people that have left this life, but for some reason their
Yeah.
energy still hangs around.
So,
And then,
yeah, talking about asteroids, I mean, just like the Native American superimposed over that little squirrely guy that was there.
yeah.
I mean, that was full on. That was freaking Geronimo. If I'd ever seen, I mean, it was a full on Native American Indian.
Well, and I've had several pictures at different investigations of people that were just sitting there and that there was something superimposed on their face. You know, the shots prior and the shots after were normal, but
Yeah,
for that one shot, there was like another
something.
face or something over their face and some kind of energy. And it's like it flew through and yeah, you know, it happened at Diana's farm. It happened with Sherry.
That was weird.
It happened with Diana in the stairwell. You
Yeah.
know, this face superimposed over her face. It looked like an old witch crone that went
Hmm.
over it real quickly. And then, you know, at Astrid's place, and then at uh, years ago, my girlfriend, my BFF, and her husband and I went to the old Sharpsville Cemetery because Bob had a new camera he wanted to try out. And we were actually sitting in the car. I'd gotten some interesting photos of some green lights in the cemetery. But, you know, I don't go to cemeteries to ghost hunt because, frankly, I think most of the people that are buried there aren't there. It's just a quiet place.
Right.
But we were sitting in the car and we both got this weird ass feeling that swept over us all at once. And we got goosebumps. So I picked my camera up and snapped a picture. And when I did, there was like a bony hand that you could see through, but it clearly looked like a bony hand
Hmm.
over her face
Yeah.
in this picture. I'm like, okay, it's a good thing we can't see this right now. So, uh, but so because this was years ago,
Hmm.
so
Well, hell, we got the bony hand at the farm
yeah,
out in the stables on my
uh
back
huh.
and on Sherry's back.
Hmm. So I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff going on around us right now from a lot of different perspectives. A lot of different things are happening, energy wise, um, uh, you know, in dimensional, interdimensional, ultra dimensional,
Hmm.
alien. You know, sometimes I think people are recording things or photographing things that they think are ghosts, and they're actually not. They're alien. You know,
Yeah.
NHI. You know what I mean? I mean, like I said, I don't think that everything we capture has ever really lived here. You
Yeah.
know, and so people just need to keep their mind open to that sort of stuff. I think when you keep your mind open to that sort of stuff, you kind of invite it in, like
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? That
Oh yeah.
you're when you're open to things, I think that the phenomenon recognizes that and will reach out and touch you, so to speak. You know, and see
Right.
if
Yeah.
and see if you notice. If you, I think sometimes things happen just because they want to see if we notice.
Yeah. Well, I think that being said as well, I mean, it's like looking at things through a child's eyes, because kids and I believe that they see things and they're part of things that as adults most people can't see. They're not attuned to anymore because they're conditioned after you tell your mom and dad that you've seen something under your bed or something in your closet and then telling no it's nothing, don't worry about it, you're making it up, blah blah blah. You desensitize yourself to it. But
Hmm.
even as an adult now, and an example after meeting you, where I started seeing things in the sky.
Ha ha! Yeah, you
You
blame me.
know,
Go
So,
ahead and blame me, whatever,
I
dude.
mean, I'm sure they were always there, but
I
when you
think they call that the hitchhiker
desensitize,
effects.
yeah, when you desensitize and you open your mind up to the possibilities, you start seeing a lot more than what normal, everyday human race individuals see. It's like they say, in the spiritual realm, it's an awakening. Which, I mean, yeah, it could be that, or it just could be that I met you and you told me your stories, and I started actually paying attention to what was going on around me in that effect. So
Hmm.
I don't know, but hey, I didn't start seeing anything in the sky until I met you. I didn't wasn't in a tornado until I met you. Um, I don't know. Strange thing, strange things happen when you're friends with Deb.
I know. Oh, damn it! I dropped my cap to my pop.
Oh my
Son
God.
of a bitch.
Now you got to bend all the way over with them little bones.
Oh God, I'm falling apart.
Preaching to the choir, let me tell you.
Oh, I like this not having to put on makeup and shit.
Well, I mean, yeah,
I'm
me
actually
too.
in my pajamas as we speak.
I am in my normal clothes. Just it's more laid back. You got to worry about a whole bunch of crap with video, and when you're producing shows like that, like how I do, you got to make sure the streams are all still running, and you got to 30% of your attention span is always on that. Is everything still running right? Are we
Mhm.
still connected? Are we looking at the chat? And then people in the chat are like, he's not even paying attention to what she's saying. Like,
I I
come
like
on,
the
man.
I like the old radio stuff.
Yeah,
We need more of that. We're gonna
right.
go.
Back
We're
to the
gonna go
basics.
old schools. Yeah,
Mm,
have to. w- we could do this a lot more often too. We can
I
have.
know, right?
Let's just have this. Y'all want to see what we look like? You can go back into
Let me,
YouTube Midwest Paratalk. See some. Oh God, uh, I've had some looks over the years.
uh,
We've
I
changed.
mean,
We've both changed a lot over the years.
yeah, there's a lot of big differences going on.
What's the oldest video that's in that, by the way?
I'm sorry.
What do you know what the oldest
Oh, on
video
the
ever?
YouTube page?
Yeah, from what year?
I tell you what, let me go on here and look. Let's see. Videos. These just uploaded 3 years ago, but these are from when we started doing the show when I lived in Georgia, is
Oh,
when we started uploading to YouTube.
hmm,
So that
that's
was,
when we were recording on Skype, weren't we?
yeah, that was 11 years ago in 2015.
Oh my.
So, and that's when we changed from doing Midwest Paratalk Radio because there was a big drama thing about NPR and the old host and all that,
Oh yeah, that was ugly.
right? So, and that was back in 2011, 2012. And if you go on to Podomatic and look Midwest Prayer Talk Radio, you'll be able to find those old episodes. And like I said, those go back, what, at least 15, 16 years.
Huh. God damn.
So, yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, for
And
real.
I mean, you can even see the differences in from what I posted up 3 years ago from when we were in Georgia versus you can look at the most current one and see how we've changed. It's ridiculous, crazy. But there's also, hey, I forgot to tell everybody, there's a Patreon if you're interested in joining the NPR Patreon. You can click on that through the profile page on YouTube. It's on Midwest Prayer Talk Radio. And you can put a little donation in there, Donny Donny. and appreciate us for what we do. But honestly, I mean, off and on, I would say we've been doing this a lot longer than most of these people out here that are trying to throw their ticket in the fame bucket,
Yeah, we just like to talk
right?
paranormal stuff and UFO stuff.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of UFO stuff, there's been a lot of to do about disclosure in the last few years, and people were very highly anticipating the Disclosure Day movie from Steven Spielberg. I went to go see it, and it was interesting. There were parts about it I liked, parts
Yeah.
about it I wasn't crazy about,
Yeah.
but the overall message I liked because it was something that I shared. I was kind of feeling like this whole disclosure thing was kind of going south for a while after 2017.
Yeah.
The narrative was starting to get pretty dark and negative. A lot of fear mongering going on by alleged whistleblowers, which honestly were people that were not firsthand witnesses, but were repeating things they were told or saw, uh, paperwork wise or whatever. And then, you know, uh, the narrative just kept getting nastier and nastier. And I was starting to feel some type of way as an experiencer who's public. I'm beginning to feel like, God damn, if you go around telling all these fucking people that these are demons and they're here to kill us and everything else, what are people going to think of when they look at people like me who've had contact with these things? Are they going to think that of us? I mean, it's
Right.
starting to give me some kind of feels, I didn't like that because I've gone along all this time and basically just tried to live my own life and just took it as it came. But now I got these people here saying that we need to be afraid of them, and they need to maybe be afraid of us, experiencers, But to be afraid of the aliens, I've struggled for 40 years to try to not feel that. They told me to get control of my fear because fear would slow my process, and that's what I did. And I've done well with that. And now I've got the government trying to tell me I need to be afraid. Hold on, no, I don't think so. Why would I trust you when you lie to me about every other thing, but you're not going to lie to me about this one thing? I don't think so. I mean, and I think, oh, how many planes have crashed into a UFO in the sky and fallen down in the sky? And then how many planes have crashed into other planes? I think
Right.
the danger in the sky is us, not them. I know, but I understand that your military and your black budgets need lots of money for whatever the fuck you're doing that we don't know about, you know. And I do believe there has been crash retrievals, but I don't think they crashed. I think we shot them down, but that's just my opinion. I don't have any facts to prove that. That's just my feeling. I think people generally are scary. Uh,
Yeah.
More so than aliens. I've had interaction with NHI for my entire life, and when they realized that they were doing things that were harming me, they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
But the people don't. So there's that. But anyway, I've been seeing more and more people come ahead and claim to be whistleblowers with all this information, some of which I have heard come from experiencers 40 and 50 years ago, but we were ignored and laughed at and shunned because, like I have a high school diploma and a beauty school certificate. I'm not a pilot or a general or a PhD or any of that shit. I'm just a regular person trying to have a life and had all this stuff dropped in their lap and have been trying to deal with it ever since, right? So I have some opinions on things. I recently heard a whistleblower say, or I recently heard someone saying regarding the whistleblowers, oh, when we finally have some credible witnesses. And, that really offended me.
Right.
I found that very offensive and disrespectful because I thought, what the fuck am I, dude? Chopped liver? I've been out here making an ass of myself in public, talking about crazy shit just so someone would listen because I knew I had to. But I'm not credible because I have a high school diploma and a beauty school certificate. I am a first hand witness with first hand witnesses to my event and other physical evidence, right? My testimony could put a man in prison in this country.
Hmm.
First hand witnesses put people in prison all the time. But yet I'm not credible because I don't have a PhD uh, behind my name or something like that. That just really offended me, and it really pissed me off to the point where I was ready to tell the entire UFO community to go eat a bag of dicks. I was done with it. I've been trying to get my message out to just anybody who would listen, just tell anybody who would listen about what happened to me so that they would just be aware, you know? And now I'm hearing these whistleblowers saying things that I said 40 years ago that everyone ignored and laughed at. Not just me. I'm not offended just for me. I'm offended for everyone like me, and there are millions of us out there, right?
Right.
And a lot of us feel the same way from what I hear. So I was to the point where like I was ready to tap out. And I thought, okay, when you finally figure out some shit, don't ask me. I'm I'm persona non grata at this point. Leave me alone. I just want to have my life, right? So the universe decided it had to, or whatever decided it had to step in and interfere with my life a little this summer. And it managed to get me out to Contact in the Desert, where there were several thousand people out there just like me. And at first I thought the reason, the universe always puts me where I need to be when I need to be there for whatever reason. And I kind of know when to pay attention and when not to, because I do get asked to do some things. And a lot of times I'm like, no, thank you. I don't think so. But every now and then I feel a push. And I kind of felt that this time. So I went. There's no way I would have been able to afford to get there on my own, but all of my friends just kind of swooped me up and dragged me out there, and which was, I'll be forever grateful to them for that. But while I was there, I first found out that Dean Iliota's film, Disclosure, Experiencers, Disclosure was premiering out there, and I didn't even remember doing it because it'd been like 6 or 7 years. And when he found out I was going to be there, he asked me if I would come to the premiere and then be on the stage. And I said, sure. And so I thought at first, maybe that's why the universe sent me out there. But then it became quickly apparent that that wasn't all. Usually, when the universe puts me somewhere, it's for somebody else. And this time, it put me out there for me. When I was walking through the lobby of the hotel, this lady stands up, God love her, and she yells out my name. And then she runs up and hugs me and she said, "You're my Kathy Davis. You saved my life." And then she was just sobbing. And then I started crying. And, and then it's like all weekend long after that, people were coming up to me left and right, thanking me for speaking out because they felt like I gave them a voice and that they were heard. They felt like they were heard. And I had one lady came up to me in a wheelchair. She said, "I'm in my 90s now, and I had the same experience you had with the missing pregnancy when I was like 70 years ago, and I couldn't tell anybody. And I just wanted to tell you thank you for speaking out about it." And it's like, okay, I finally realized that after I got slapped in the head with this a dozen times that weekend, the universe was there telling me, "Don't give up.
Hmm.
Don't give up.
Right.
You're headed in the right direction, and we're this close." Because I was ready to tap out before that weekend. I was ready to be done with it all. And I, I feel so fortunate and grateful that things act that way for me. But that just tells me that we're on the precipice of something big in the very near future regarding this whole phenomenon. And also that my instincts are correct and it isn't what you think it is. And I don't think you need to be afraid of the NHI. There are other things you should be more afraid of, you know? So,
More afraid of the people trying to hide it than actually
right.
attack.
They're trying to hide it for a reason. and
Hmm.
it's not any good reasons for you and I. Trust me. So, I mean, that's my opinion. I could be wrong. I always say this. That's my opinion, and I could be wrong. You know, the facts of my
Yeah.
case never change, but my opinions do based on the
Right.
things I see around me all the time,
Hmm.
and experience and people I meet. So that's where I'm at right now with this whole disclosure thing. It's it's gonna happen. It's happening right now, as a matter of fact, but it's not happening the way you think it is.
Yeah.
And it's not going to come from the sources that you think it's going to come from.
Right. And see, my thing, I don't think. First off, I don't understand the whole idea of having to hide this from the public.
Yeah,
What is that?
that was my phone. I forgot to mute it.
Oh, I'm like, what in the
God,
world are the people yelling outside?
no, it's my phone,
Oh, um,
my ringer.
yeah, I don't understand why one they're hiding it as much as they are, especially now, because I mean I can kind of understand in the 40s, 50s, and 60s because there was a lot of growth I think that needed to happen to us as a species.
Yeah.
In the 70s, 80s, and 90s, I feel like things started to take a turn.
Stop. I'm
And then,
sorry, my phone won't shut off. Okay, sorry. You can edit me out here.
like moving forward in the 2000s and moving, to now, I think that they're hiding of this and of different, let's just call it for what is it, all the paranormal activity that's going on within the world now between UFOs, cryptos, ghosts, hauntings, uh, Mothman type stuff, the UFOs and contact. There's no sense in trying to hide that now. In my eyes, that I feel like we have evolved enough that it's not, excuse me, going to be mass hysteria
Man,
like
if you
what
could
they
watch,
thought.
if watch high schoolers, watch teenagers watch TV and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched my granddaughter and her friends, and it's like, something comes on TV about aliens or UFOs. Like there was when they first did the stuff on TV about the big article that I think the Times, New York Times, or whatever put out about the Tic Tac videos and all that stuff.
The
And
Tic Tac.
and the teenagers were like, "Oh, that's cool. Hey, when are we going to the mall?" I mean, they don't care. They've been desensitized to the point now, I think,
Yeah.
that it's just a given for them, you
Right.
know? And that's cool. I like that. That's how it should be. And then even the older folks, I was at the doctor's office one day. I don't know if I ever told you this story. It was not too long after they all the stuff started hitting the national news. Media was picking up on the Tic Tac videos and the UFO stuff. And I was sitting in the waiting room, and the gals were in the office area, but I could hear them. And apparently, one of the girls was watching this on her computer, and she's like, look at this, look at this. The government is saying aliens are real, the UFOs are real," and they're like, "Oh, that's so cool." And I thought to myself, and they were like excited about it. They weren't making fun of it at all. And I thought, and I kind of laughed at myself, and I thought, man, if you could have told me 40 years I'd be in this position right now, I'd have told you was a liar. Oh, and I kind of laughed. And I thought, I never thought I would see the day when this would be a conversation in the doctor's office and wouldn't be followed by a bunch of crude jokes and laughing. These girls were into it, and I thought
Yeah.
that that is what it should be. That's the way it should be. People should be interested and curious about it, not afraid of it or making fun of it. And so that's why I feel like,
Well, yeah.
the fear
Well,
narrative is to control it and to control us, and that's we don't need that shit. People are ready. People are ready for this. The younger generation already assumes it and takes it for granted, and the older folks like me, midlife and older, we get it. We understand. I mean, we're there. Very few people are going to be jumping off buildings like War of the Worlds. You know, when people did
Right.
that, it's going to be the folks that are kind of. I don't know. I'm not going to judge anybody, but I'm just going to say there's not going to be that backlash that they think that there is, or that the excuse they're using. That's a bad excuse to use because it's not correct.
Right. See, I don't know. I think one of the best things that is happening right now are these cons and the UFO cons and the paranormal cons that people are actually going to and discussing and learning. And there's people that have never been around the field before showing up with curiosity as to what's going on. And like you said, they're not talking major crap about it. It's just it is what it is. Tell me what you know and tell me your experiences. And it's the same with presenting evidence in the paranormal. Take away from it what you will, but this is my story. And 98% of the people that you talk to will walk away going, wow, that was pretty intense. Well, you're still going to always have that 2% where, people are just, hairy buttholes and decide they're going to be, that way, but they're buttholes before they come to talk to you. But there's nothing you can do about them. And that's
There's always going to be people that don't believe you or don't agree
right,
with you, and
right.
that's fine. You know, I accept that, but for the most part, people are pretty open minded now, and you know, uh, I'm here for that.
Well, I mean, it just and I don't really remember how it's been so long. I can't really remember how I got into doing the paranormal. I remember my reason, but I don't remember how it all started. But I was open then to the idea and the possibilities from personal experiences.
Mhm.
But even then, I mean, I'm young enough to where, and this is the only time I'll probably ever be able to say this again in my life. I'm young enough in my life that I wasn't shunned for talking about ghosts stuff happening. And I think that's kind of where I am because I mean, you couldn't sit at the doctor's office even 15 years ago and talk about UFO stuff without someone talking shit, you know? And it just I don't know. I just feel like I don't need anybody to keep things for me. Give me the truth.
Right.
Just give it to me, and we'll deal with it. And where the cards lay, that's where they are. And there's nothing we can do about it in any damn way.
Damn it! My neighbor decided to mow his grass. I hope that you can
Oh
hear
yeah,
him.
I hear him.
Stupid. I swear to God. I mean,
Hey,
it's
open up your window and
kind
tell
of
him to
wet.
quit it.
Well, he just ran
Go
out
get
of gas.
some
Maybe he's done. The
go get
beauty
some
of
water
podcast.
balloons and open up your window and throw it at him as he passes, and then sneak back in.
We don't need no damn water balloons. We've been deluged. Water,
And
that ain't
that's
even a
something
word.
else too that I think is a little paranormal too.
What's that?
All the rain and the way that the weather patterns have changed, like this year alone. Like there's some hinky stuff going on with our weather right now, and I don't think it's natural. I really don't. Here I'm going to fall into my conspiracy theory ideas, but I feel like somebody is seeding somewhere, causing us to have problems weather wise. It's been more rain and more wet this season, this summer, this year than it has in 6 years prior. We haven't had near as much rainfall as much as we had now. And then all of a sudden, Tornado Alley is expanding.
That ain't all of a sudden, though. That's been happening for 10 years.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's happened and it prevalently happened this year. I mean, it really, I mean, okay, this is where it's at now.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't I'm not into the conspiracy theory, and I do. While there is minimal amount of cloud seeding done in research stuff, but I mean, I'm not gonna. Or that I'm very interested in uh, the global rising of the temperatures is holding more moisture in the air, and that
Yeah.
the melting of the ice up in the Antarctica, and uh, there's warmer air. The jet stream patterns are changing. Atmosphere is being blocked by trapped upper air pressure things. There's just the El Nino and the La Nina that come and go are being
Well,
they're more extreme because of
right.
the overall warming. Like climate, to me, climate change is real. If you go in and you read all of the actual data and you see all of the changes, one of the things that concerns me is this ice melting. This ice hasn't seen the viruses and the bacterias that were frozen in this ice, and some of the ice, the viruses that are frozen that are now being released after 50,000 years of being
Right.
frozen. We don't have any immunity to that shit,
Right.
and it's gonna come around eventually. It's going to hit the
Oh yeah.
airstream because everything that's water on this planet ends up in the air. I mean,
Yeah.
water it's not you know we're drinking the water that was pissed out of a dinosaur. I mean, it's not, we don't just get new water on this planet. It's recycled,
Right.
in every way, shape, and form. So it's like,
Well,
when you think of that, that's
yeah.
why I buy so many water filters and drink my
Well,
filtered
I
water.
mean,
But
we are effectively moving towards extinction anyway.
look, nothing survives forever. No,
Hmm.
no animal on this planet has ever survived forever. Everything goes extinct, and humans are no different. And if we have a hand in our own extinction, then it is what it is. I've said this before, and I've said it again. We've done this before. I really feel like that humanity today is maybe the third or fourth incarnation or generation of humans,
Hmm.
and we'll fucking take ourselves all the way down to the nub again, and something is in the wings to start all over.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things I've been fascinated with for years and years is this idea of things that were found in, half a million year old stone that shouldn't be there.
Right.
Technology stuff
Yeah.
found in these tools embedded in stone that tests to be like a million years old. But these are tools that you could still find today being used.
Oh yeah.
It's like those things to me. I notice that shit, and I, when I trust the researchers with the data that I see where the information is coming from. It intrigues me, and it just that along with so many other things just leads me to feel like this ain't our first rodeo here.
Right.
We might be humanity 4.0,
Yeah.
and we about to piss in our own gene pool enough that we're done,
Well,
and
yeah,
piss in
I
our
think you're right. Yeah.
and wreck our own planet to the point where it can't sustain us anymore. And God, hopefully, we're gone before the planet's gone.
Right.
So the planet, once we're gone, the planet can heal. Because the way I see humanity right now is that we're a bacteria, and the planet needs an antibiotic. If we're not going to figure it out, if we're not going to take responsibility for our own actions, and take care of our own home, Jesus Christ, it ain't like we got another planet we can just jump off to. This is it. There ain't no plan B. And so, you know, if we get extinct again, which is where I see us headed right now, um, I think there's another incarnation of humanity waiting in the wings to be another hybrid, so to speak, waiting in the wings to be released back onto the planet once she's healed enough to sustain life again.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've done this already a few times. Just, I think that history at books and what we've learned from history and archaeology and everything, that's just Okay, some of it's legit and we can take us so far, but we don't really know what the hell dinosaurs sound like or look like, except for their bones. Nobody was alive then, so we're guessing. We're guessing about what cavemen and Stone Age people did and look like. We're just guessing our best scientifically backed guesses, but they're still guesses. We don't know.
So you,
And
you don't think anthropology, like speaking through that they've got the shapes and the skin tones and the big foreheads and whatnot, Neanderthals and bones and stuff of dinosaurs. You don't think that we got that correct?
I don't think it's not that I don't think we have it correct. I don't think we have all of the information.
Yeah,
I think it's just a small part of it, and I
portion.
think that they have built up around what little bit of legitimate information they have.
Yeah.
You know what
So
I'm
like
saying?
70% fact and
Yeah,
30% speculation.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that because I mean, there's no denying the bones, and you can tell by how a bone wears where the musculature attached to it, and with that information, you can kind of formulate with the aid of a computer how it could be.
yeah,
That doesn't necessarily mean how it was, but here is one way it could have been, right?
right.
That's what I'm saying. We don't have all the answers to anything ever anywhere. And
Yeah,
and and we don't really know what our history was like, 50,000 years ago because there's nobody alive to tell us.
yeah,
Uh it's a lot of in it's a lot of intelligent guesses, I guess.
yeah.
But we don't, and I just feel like that we're way off and we don't take responsibility for a lot of the shit that happened to this planet and these people in this world and how these extinctions happen. We still, I mean, everybody's general feeling about dinosaurs is okay, that there was a big comet and came and they all went extinct. Um, that's just a guess. It's a scientific guess, but it's still a guess. You know, what could come along and drop an entire planet's worth of life forms down while they're like in the middle of eating dinner or whatever,
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
they found dinosaur remains that still had food in their stomach and in their mouths. Something doesn't click, something
Well, I
doesn't
mean,
match up. So
I don't know. I mean, there's nothing. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't there. I don't. Uh,
exactly. I don't, we don't really know. It's a lot of educated guesses on a lot of
there
stuff.
would be. I mean, if it were humans that in that time span killed the planet, okay, there would be remnants of nuclear fallout of some sort, right? I mean, one would think.
Depends on what they
Or,
killed it with.
I
And
mean,
I think
it
there
wasn't
is
insecticide.
I think there are things that are remnant of that. I'd have to Google it up. I've read papers from scientific researchers before that have indicated that possibility, but they
Well,
don't
yeah, I
know.
guess if you think about it, my question too, I guess, turns to, well, what about uranium and plutonium and all the radioactive elements? Where did they come from? Like, was it man made at that point then, and that's how we destroyed the planet in that era? And that's remnant left over from that particular invention of that time. I mean, I don't know. Makes me wonder that about that now.
Yeah. I question everything. I mean, some things are reasonable to accept,
Right.
but you have to remember that at the end of the day, nothing is 100% certain.
Right. Yeah, we don't know.
Mm-mm.
There's just we can just speculate, and it is what it is. But interesting to think about nonetheless. But
Yeah, I mean, I, I really didn't want to live in the end times. I didn't want to see humanity extinct, but Who knows
We
at
won't.
this
It'll
point?
never. It'll never happen in our lifetime. Not even
Uh,
our kids' lifetimes.
I hope not. I'm not feeling it. I
I,
want our
I feel like it's still a long ways out. We're going to be long gone when it actually happens.
unless our son just gets a hair up her ass and decides, no, I'm done with y'all. One good blast, Earth facing, and we're done.
It's not going to go supernova.
Oh, no, I don't mean supernova. It wouldn't take supernova. It would just take uh, some serious flares.
Honestly, I mean, we're looking at 10,000 years yet
Yeah,
before it's all said and done. I'm thinking.
maybe. Or it could be
Well,
tomorrow.
I'm not going to sit here and think about it
I
and
don't
worry
worry
about
about
it.
it. I
So,
know. There's no reason. That's just what I said. No, why
yep,
be afraid?
yep,
What, nothing to be afraid of. Just live your life and do what you like
fact. So, hey,
at the end
coming
of the
up,
day.
we have an event coming up. We want to put a shot out there and hype that a little bit, as they
Oh
say
yeah, yeah.
these
Let
days.
me let me pull the info up here on my trusty little mini computer if I can find it. Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun.
yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we went to an event last weekend as well. Had a good time there.
Mhm.
Got to see our buddy Ronnie LeBlanc up at in Michigan last weekend. Got to see Dustin Perry. He was there. Heather Toddy from PRS was there, and Voices of Contact members were there. All of them, even Deb.
Mhm. Yep,
We had a
me,
good time.
Deb and RJ,
Hmm.
Mary Bassett. She put it on Ascension Con. It was the inaugural event. It was the first one. And so hopefully they'll be back next year. It was in a fantastic venue. It was so
It was.
cool. What was
It,
that called? The Charlton Historic
yeah.
uh,
I
Museum or
got
something.
pictures on my phone. I could tell you.
it's it reminded me of kind of reminded me of like a Connor Prairie Farm or a Billy Creek Inn, Billy Creek Village kind of thing, where it was beautiful natural area with a like a pond behind it and or a little lake. I think it was a lake, not a pond, but
It was a lake.
and then buildings situated around this turnaround circle like, and there was a whole like little main street area with a uh, like a printing place and the big clock tower and marked Main Street, and then there was uh, a chicken coop in which I made friends with the little chickens in there, and then there was a carpenter's barn open up. You could walk in and see everything. It's like a living history museum of the time, you know, in that area. It was very cool. And then the speakers had a tent set up in the center for their tables and to meet people, and then the actual speakers did their lectures in the big church there, which was neat. And you know, it's just it was a good time. It was wonderful to see everybody, and I'm hopeful that it will continue on next year. And you know, now I'm really looking forward to uh, the Michigan UFO-con that's going to be at Houghton Lake on September 25th and 26th this year. It is it's a wonderful time. The Deb and RJ and everybody who puts that on are a fantastic group of people that I adore. And the guest speakers are going to be Andrea Perrin and Dave Dominique is going to talk about. I don't know what he's going to talk about. He's a senior retired special agent, expert in digital forensics, UFO experiencer, researcher, and outdoorsman and survivalist. So that'll be interesting. And then,
Okay.
of course, there's my buddy and sister from another, Mr. Dana Stricker. She's a fantastic medium. She's going to also speak. And then Bill Konkoleski. He is the Michigan MUFON state director, has been for a long time. He's also uh, an experiencer. He is he's got a great talk. I've heard his talk before. and he's very interesting. So you'll want to see him. Mary Bassett, that's another one of our voices of contact gals. She's also a medium, a channeler, and a hypnotherapist. So she's going to be speaking. And then Peter Robbins, whom I adore, who I've known since Bud Hopkins days. Peter's like a brother to Big Brother. He'll be speaking, and he's always interesting. And then there's moi. I'll be running my mouth for a little bit.
Oh no.
Uh, and then I think I'm pronouncing this correctly. Chad Stumke, author, tour guide, and seeker, lecturer on ancient landscapes, researcher of UFOs and stargates, and guest on many national radio shows. I have not had the pleasure to meet him, so I'll be looking forward to meeting him there. There'll be a lot of vendors. I love the vendor area. They have a great vendor area there. And you'll want to check all those vendors out there. I think vendors are usually on the third floor. Uh, the talks are on the second floor, vendors are on the third. And they have a wonderful Saturday night tradition that I am so excited for out at the lake. And Kroom's going to be there again this year with his theremin to serenade us as we sky watch out by the lake. It's so beautiful out there. I mean, it is a really it's one of my favorite. It's become quickly become one of my favorite places to go in September. I mean, one of my favorite conferences of all times. The only one, there's another one I love so much that I went to this year was April. It was the Eureka Springs conference. That thing's been
Right.
around for 60 years, you know. And then I'm so thankful to have been asked to come back again to UFO Michigan Ufo-cons because this will be like my third time there. Third, yeah, I think so. My third time. I'm surprised these people aren't sick of me. But I'm thrilled to be able to go, and I'm thrilled that you get to come with me this time and have this experience because this is one of my favorite places, and of
Yeah.
course my favorite people, which you got an opportunity to meet briefly uh, last weekend. So
Right.
everybody should come up to Houghton Lake, Michigan. It's not a bad drive from anywhere in the Midwest, really.
No,
And
well, I mean, I'm about an 8 hour drive from there.
I'm about a five,
So
and
about
it's
three and a half hours to your house and then
mhm,
5 up there.
and it's a beautiful, beautiful venue. I mean, the hotel is nice. Everything is all right there. The vendors, the speakers, the hotel rooms, the restaurant, everything is right there on site. The lake, it's right on the lake. It's just one of my favorite things to do in the morning is sit out on my balcony with my coffee and just watch the sunrise. I have the most beautiful pictures from previous sunrises, and I really hope I'm on the lakeside this year so I can see it again. I don't know. I'll go where they put me, but it's really just beautiful. I love it. So if you
Nice.
get a chance to come to a conference this year, it's coming up to the end of the year now. There's not many left to come to. This is a really good one. I know the hotel is sold out, but there are other places around there and other hotels that you get rooms at if you want to come up, or if you're in the area and just want to come up for the days. Come and say hi and come visit us at the book table, and uh, just it's you won't be sorry.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great time. Get out there, meet some people, and listen to some stories and listen to the people tell on the panels and stuff. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
And Greg's going to be bringing some of his famous T-shirts that I wear. So hopefully
You're
we'll have.
getting weird.
Why am I getting weird?
There you go. Your voice was all like,
Oh, that's because I was looking down. How's that better?
yep, that's much better.
Oh, I was going to say, Bragg, you're going to be bringing some T-shirts to sell, right?
I am. I'm going to bring quite a few shirts with me. I'm looking at probably around 30 right now
No, yeah, that's
is
cool.
what I'm wanting to bring. So, but there'll be a variety. I've got some really good prints I think that are going to sell well. So,
Cool. I'm getting quite a collection of T-shirts. I'm becoming the T-shirt girl here at town. I got some weird taste, though. I ask you make some strange stuff.
Right. I got to get out. I can't. There's slight subtleties in some of the images that you send, so I have to make changes to them and make them my own to be able to print them without having a copyright.
Hmm.
And so it takes me a minute to get those done up, and I work them out in Canva and all that. And
I wonder if I should have you make me a T-shirt with my book cover on it. Does that sound too
no, we could do that. I
stuck
just
up?
need I can get the cover image, and I could definitely do that. That wouldn't be hard to do at all.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, just a thought. I like the cover of the book. That's why I love that image. It's cool.
right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Um, damn it. If I could spell,
Hmm. Don't hurt yourself.
for real. Like, what would you want? Like
Shoot, I don't know.
the whole front of the book, like with your name on it, and forward by Yvonne Smith, and Life
Yeah,
Beyond Intruder. You want all that on there? I can do that.
sure.
I should have hit you up prior to. There we go. And I might have you send me the image. I don't know. Oh, wait, save.
I got it. If you want it.
Nah, yeah, send it to me anyway. But I think
Okay.
I got it. But yeah, if you guys are interested in hearing more about Deb's story, go out get on Amazon and search for extraordinary contact. You can look up Deb's name, Deb Cobble, Life Beyond Intruders. Those keywords will get you to where you need to go. Go there, get the book. You can download it. No, you can't download it yet. We're working on that. I'm telling you, Deb, we're going to get it done. You can get it on Amazon right now. Go out, check it out. Extraordinary Contact. I
Greg's
did
gonna Greg's gonna uh teach me how to
do the voiceover for
do the
the
voice.
book.
Yeah, to do uh voice to read the book.
Yeah, we're gonna get the audiobook squared away and get it to a publisher and have it done up so it could be on audiobook because Greg has ADHD and I can't sit and read books because it bores the hell out of me. And I need to be doing like 5 things at the same time. And
Well,
audiobooks are one of the things that I can do and listen to, and it keeps me. I can be cleaning the house or doing the dishes or cleaning toilets or doing whatever else, designing shirts while listening to it, and I do well with that. But like I've got three, four, five. I got 5 haunted Indiana books that I need to get in and get some articles out of, and do like a haunted history segment for the shows. And the thought of reading those out loud or just reading from a book, it just is like, ugh. Just so you know, just how bad it seems to me to be able to do. These books have been out on my desk for like 2 months.
yeah, I can't read. I can't read much anymore. You know, that's kind of sad. I can't. I mean, it's not like I can't read, but
Your eyes,
my eyes. Yeah, I
yeah,
have macular degeneration, and my vision is getting poorer slowly.
yeah,
And like reading, I used to read. I was used to read all that. I was always reading every night. I read. And now it's like I can't read 10, 15 minutes, and my eyes, I can't hold them open. They hurt.
yeah.
So, audiobooks is the way to go for me. I got a subscription to Audible,
Hmm.
and it's good. But I don't. My book is not in voice
And
format yet.
digital download yet.
Right. So
We're working on it. Do you have the original script? I mean, like, can you blow up the text so where it's not that daunting on your eyes?
on a book,
Yeah. Or can you scan it somehow and make the type bigger?
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that's what I
wondering.
well, that's what I did on my phone. I got
Okay.
the big type on my phone,
Yeah,
but yeah,
we'll have to look at some kind of scanner as well to that will be able to do that for you. So you just pull it up, like scan the page, put it up on the computer, and just read it off of the computer.
well, I have Kindle and you can make it bigger in Kindle.
Right, but you don't have your book on digital
My book is not in Kindle, no.
yet. We're
Yeah.
working on it, people. We're working on it. So, but listen, we're coming down to the end of the show here. I just want to put out there, like I said, go out there, check out Deb's book on Amazon and order that. Also, you'll be able to come up to the con in Houghton Lake Saturday the 25th. You can buy her book there as well as meet Deb, talk to her, buy some shirts from me. You can also hit me up, gcable at midwestparatalkradio.com if you're interested in any of that, and I can direct you to where you need to go. We are, like I said, like Deb said earlier, we're going back to old school where we're going to be doing podcasts versus video casts. I mean, I'll have this on YouTube, but you'll see our images, avatars on here instead of our beautiful faces. And we'll also be on Podomatic. Podomatic sends us out to different venues and formats. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us out on Google Podcasts, YouTube, which is YouTube now. I mean, like a million others that you can find us. You just search Midwest Paratalk Radio Podcast, and you'll find us. So that being said, I want to thank Deb for hanging out with me and having our good little chats like we do. And we'll be doing this again more often for you guys and getting some cool stuff in the books.
Hmm.
We'll be doing a review, or not even a review, but we'll talk to you guys about how the Ufo-con goes once we do that and get back, and other things that are coming up in the paranormal UFO crypto world. Maybe have a guest or two. Well, it really depends.
And
I
let
know
us
I have,
know, if you've got something that you want us to talk about, tell us
right?
and we
Yeah.
will do it.
Yeah, this is an open platform. If you want to come on and talk your story
Yeah, come on on.
and want to do that, we can hook it up and schedule a time you can come on and tell us your story, and you know just get it out there. We won't even I won't even have to comment on it and be like, "There's your story."
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to be using this, like, we're going to still do our thing like we do because that's what we do. But we can also use this as a platform for witnesses and experiencers of both paranormal activity and NHI UFO activity.
Yes,
And we will bring you on here and you can tell your story uninterrupted without judgment. And, uh, you know,
right,
if this is the first time you ever done it, get your feet wet, see what it feels like, you know, and because you're we want y'all to know that we see you, we know you're out there, and we want to hear what you have to say.
for sure. So, with that being said, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Check back soon and often. You'll see us come up on your Spotify's and YouTube's and all that. So, like, subscribe, hype, hit the thumbs up, do everything that you can to be told about our next and upcoming episode. So, we will see you guys later. Take care. Adios. Ahorita.
Bye.